Hi, my name is Shmuel Fischler. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I am a board member of the National Social Anxiety Center, and I am also the director and a clinician at one of their regional clinics. Ours is just a bit north of Baltimore, and the name of the practice is CBT Baltimore. And if you want to know more about the practice, you're welcome to look online and find us. So I'm really looking forward to this collaboration with Thrive 360 about social anxiety. And let me just frame it for you of how it's going to look for you. We could have gone at this with a more direct educational presentation on what social anxiety looks like, what it feels like, how to treat it, so on and so forth, and that's all really important. But we did decide instead to try to make it a little bit more immersive, a little more experiential, and I'll explain. So there's many layers to social anxiety and the experience of someone who's struggling with social anxiety. So there's the thoughts that go through my head as I get closer to a social interaction, an anticipated social event, something like that. There's the somatic, there's like what I feel physically in my body, and there's also the emotions that come along with it, before, during, after, so on and so forth. And all those are really important. And there's several nuances to how we go about treating it. Which direction do we come from? What do we do? So on and so forth. What we're going to attempt to do is that we're going to have different scenarios, different environments, which we find are pretty typical or common for someone who struggles with social anxiety to have a hard time in. And I'm going to prep the environment. I'm going to say what's going to be going on. While you're in that environment, which you can move around in, I will do my best to do a bit of a monologue of what someone with social anxiety might be experiencing. If you've ever seen the movie Inside Out, I'm trying to honor that and do some version of that, of what is the experience for someone who is struggling with social anxiety. So someone who has social anxiety might appreciate that and like a light bulb goes off. A loved one of someone who's struggling with social anxiety, people who know others with social anxiety, if you want to share it with people that are involved in your life, hopefully this will give some insight, and hopefully this will give just a little bit of a taste of what it's like, and maybe deepen an appreciation for what it's like to struggle and live with social anxiety. Social anxiety can be hard, but it does not have to define us, and it does not have to limit us in what we can do and be successful in the world. And then after each of those environments, I'll do a little like post conversation of, what was going on and what might our takeaway might be. I record this in several pieces, so it might seem like I do a quick change, but if I'm not recording all this in one session, I might be wearing something different, and so don't be surprised by that. I sincerely hope that this is something that's meaningful for you, that's beneficial, that's educational, that's insightful. That's really the goal of this collaboration. And thank you to Thrive 360 for allowing this to happen in the National Social Anxiety Center. And without further ado, let's take a look at some of these scenarios.